Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW. That's right, folks. Tonight, we're talking the shit with Disabwolf. Anything goes, anything can be talked about. It's going to be one of those nights. Let's get him on the line and see what's going on. Let's see what's good with the Wolf. I've been pretty busy today, just doing some video gaming. Lost all my Kerbal files. Had to restart from the beginning. Damn. Um, I'm just kind of just chilling. But let's give the wolf a call. See what's going on. The volume seems kind of low here.
Disabwolf here.
What is going on, Disabwolf? It is the Versace Stoner. We're just shooting the shit tonight, hanging out, kind of chilling. It's a snowy Friday, cold. I got some food cooking. I'll be in and out of doing things. What has it? What's going on there?
Nothing much though. The wolf is just warming up. Had a day of shoveling and going to work in the front lines. Versace.
Oh, I know.
This
I
time
know it
next
all
week we'll
too
be
well.
at chaotic, buddy.
Oh yes, we will. It will be a great time. Um, you know, Unfortunately, weather and everything still, and then just, being busy. We missed some wrestling last night. Wrestling open kicked off again. It wasn't the soft opening now, it was the hard opening. And you had some good matches, bad matches. I don't know. I heard good things all around, so
We had two of our guys main eventing. I heard Love Doug and Alec Price.
oh yeah, I'm gonna go really quick through the results just because to be honest with you, I didn't get to watch it yet.
Me neither.
Um,
I'm
but
dying.
it is a spoiler alert. If you are listening, just skip through this part, or if you want to watch it, or don't listen right now. But Becca defeated Little Mean Kathleen. Those two women are going to be on top this year. Um, Ryan Clancy defeat Gail Barkay. We've seen Gail Barkay.
Yep.
Um, Bobby Orlando defeats Rex Lawless.
He probably is not part of Shook Crew and Open.
Maybe not. Probably doing that, working on that singles career that he was doing kind of in Maine and other places. Antonio Zambrano defeats Eel O'Neill.
Ooh.
Ida Surreal defeats Armani Chaos. Finally getting to see Armani Chaos in action more.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll get to see how he can shine without higher society.
That we will. Our other friend, Teddy Goods, defeats Elia 6. Teddy just on a roll. This dude's just killing it. Another big year probably for him. He had some great matches last year. This year I think it's going to be even better.
Getting the recognition he deserves.
Finally. You got Ray Jazz defeating Giorgio, formerly known as Punjabi Lion. You had our other friends, the main event, Jay Lyons and Midas Black versus the Miracle Generation with Dustin Walker and Kylan Young, and this actually went to a time limit draw of 10 minutes.
These guys are going to be world renowned by the end of this year.
They definitely will be. They definitely will be. And Alec Price defeats Love Doug. What a great show. Come on, $10 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
What?
7, 8, 9.
And I heard about
So you're getting 9 matches for $10.
great
And they're all good. They're all bangers. We gotta get down there. We gotta check this out. We gotta get down there next Thursday if we don't have any other plans.
I definitely plan to go at least one or two Thursdays throughout their run.
Gotta check it out. I'll be right back. I gotta check on my steak guy. Why don't you talk sports or something? I don't know. Do what you do.
All right. As I was told by the Versace stoner, he's checking on his food, and I want to give an update on what this week's Wolfcast is going to be about. The Patriots go into Week 18. they could they automatically get a playoff spot. They can be as low as 7 with a loss, or they can be as high as the number 1 seed, believe it or not, with the victory over the Miami Dolphins Sunday. They are playing the same time as the Buffalo Bills. If both teams were to win, unfortunately, the Bills will get the division because our loss to Miami week 1 of the regular season, and the Bills would have beaten the Jets twice and the Dolphins twice, and we split even with the Bills, which is good, but they would have the better divisional record. That's why the Bills would be one. We got to root for Jets, Jets. I can't believe I'm saying that, folks. I really can't. But we're going to have to root for them if we want the Patriots to get a home playoff game. But they can do kind of the impossible. They can get the number 1 seed. Not only do they need to beat Miami, they need the Buffalo Bills to lose to the Jets on most important. You have Kansas City playing Denver Saturday afternoon. They have Kansas City has to lose. Tennessee has to lose to Houston. They did earlier. Maybe that will again. Houston, we got a problem. And you need Cincinnati to lose too. But the Pats would have the tiebreakers over those teams. That's why they're in the number 1 play, because they have a better conference record than the Chiefs and better common games record than the Cincinnati Bengals. But the thing is they beat Tennessee, so the Pats could leapfrog to the number 1 seed. Doesn't seem very possible, but there's still odds. Funny thing is, the Bruins are back in action. They won 3 in a row before losing last night on a ESPN telecast to the Minnesota Wild. 2-1, Pasternak scored the game-winning goal against the Devils the other night. As the Bruins are back in a 3-1 record since they came back. They won 3 in a row. Unfortunately, last night they lost 1 in a row. But the thing is, our Celtics aren't looking too shaky. They aren't looking good at all. And it's sad to see. A lot of people want to see this team revamped. They're currently the number 9 seed in the Eastern Conference. This team can easily be the worst team in the league or one of the best. They are capable of playing like the best, but they haven't been lately. You've got a lot of injuries and COVID issues really affecting that team, and you got a lot of stuff going on. I am very excited to talk about the Wolfcast this week. As thank you all for the record-breaking Wolfcast, highest rated views ever for the Wolfcast. Thank you guys so much. And the Versace Stoner, how's your supper coming?
What are you singing? What are you playing? Jeopardy! Like I said, I'll be bouncing back and forth. I'm making some dinners, but hope you
I was
have
telling
some fun
people
on the air.
about the Wolfcast this Sunday and giving a little update on how the Bruins Celtics did and the possible scenarios for the Patriots, whether they win or lose this Sunday. Versace.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a real big one. We can't wait for big ones. That's what we're all about here. At the VSW, like you said, we have
Hmm.
hold on, sorry, I got an email. Um no, like I said, we're waiting next week, patiently waiting for the chaotic to come to our hometown. I can't wait. I know you can't wait. It's
Oh
gonna
my
be a
God.
big one. That's what I got looking on the horizon. As far as other shows, not really sure. We had, ticket sales Mike throwing out what the WWE house show this weekend. I don't know if that's gonna happen. With the pandemic, everything else, the craziness. I don't know if it's a good time for all these events, or maybe it is. Maybe it's time to go because there's not gonna be a lot of people. I don't know. I don't know the answers to this stuff, but we play it safe here at the VSW. We try not to put anybody in jeopardy. We kind of took we took all necessary precautions during Restival. And we'll continue to do that within the new year. I think that is our best, bet. I can't even tell you if there'll be a return.
Folks,
I mean,
well,
I
obviously,
can't even. Honestly, I can't even tell you right now if there'll be a return of KPW because, to be honest with you, it's not a safe return right now. I can't safely run a show even with closed setting. Some people vaccinated, some people on, some people sick. I can't be in charge of all that. Neither can you. And unfortunately, safety
other
first.
problem is due to, who I'm not saying any names or anything, you got a bunch of people that are constantly hitting us up dumb enough to think we're paying random people $100, no
But
less,
even not, I would just with the pandemic back the way it is. I mean, right now I got to kind of wait on things.
Exactly.
There was some private tapings in the works. Those are going to be kind of put on hold right now,
It,
just until things are a little bit in a better predicament. But there's still wrestling. There's still shows. I know the RWA show got canceled this weekend due to weather and COVID. Weather probably being the more bigger issue.
I
I
heard
know.
Rhode Island hit more than us in the Boston area.
Yeah, I mean, even Norwood got like 9 inches. So I mean, it's kind of. It's not, you're not going to get to a show like that. It's hard for wrestlers to travel. It's hard for fans.
It's
I know
like
most.
us with last minute decision, unfortunately, with the next Limitless show, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to know until that day. And then, like, even today in the snow,
Even,
my
I
car was
even told
doing
we're going to go to
360s.
every Armor show after January, anyway, so.
Yeah, I'm probably hit a few Let's Wrestle too. And check out the rest of the talent that Limitless has to offer. I'll be right back again. I can smell the cooking steak.
Ooh, steak with Versace. Get high with the filet mignon. Um, the Versace stoner and Disabwolf. What am I talking about? This isn't the intro. Crazy. Wolf I am. As you people know, we're located in the Boston area. We got hit pretty hard with the snow this morning. I had to shovel so much. Help my dad with the snow blower. And the wolf is a little strain. Plus, working on the front lines at a store, the wolf has to deal with senior citizens all day long, complaining about everything. How they don't even know how to connect to the Wi Fi for their app to get their discounts. Mamma mia. Uh, I had a weird ass day, folks. Just very tired, but when I shoot the shit with Versace, I always have a good time when we're on the VSW podcast. It's stressfully for me. I don't look at it like I'm having fun. I know Versace is too. Got a lot of stuff to look forward to in 2022. We talked about it plenty of times. We got some wrestling shows. We're taking it a little easy the next month, but we're going to go very hard once the nicer weather comes. We're going to try to hit as many promotions as we can. Also excited for postseason ball for the NFL and the Patriots. I'm also there's a lot of gamings coming out. As if you're paying attention, please give Versace walkthroughs a chance. He plays a lot of games with Grand Theft Auto, Ghostbusters, a lot of Xboxes. The Wolf has PlayStation, but the Wolf is trying to get the camera set up in his house so he can do some live streams too. Let it go, let it go. Can't take it much anymore. Hear me say, the cold never bothered me anyway. Sorry, folks. When it snows for the first time, a big storm, I always think of the movie Frozen and Let It Go. I'm pretty crazy. I am built an Olaf and I don't have magic powers to ever come to life. I always think about it when it snows lately. I'll have to listen to that song after we go off the air. I know I'm a little crazy, but I'd have some hot chocolate when it snows, folks. Maybe, maybe. Do you wanna build a snowman? Do you wanna build a snowman? Not today. I ain't got time to build a snowman. Here at the VSW, we got a lot of wrestling we gotta catch up on. I heard the Forbidden Doors in WWE now. Who would ever thought? There's breaking news, Versace. I'm just thinking of Jeopardy. We lost the great Alex Trebek last year. We also lost John Madden. We lost Betty White. Really, really sad. Keep losing people left and right. Sad to see. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the wrestling world, folks. Ice the Wolf has not seen Spider Man yet. But Sydney Bacabellas probably spoiled something for me, anyways. Last chaotic show. So it's all good. Save you money. The man's trying to save you money. He also needs to get paid some money, too. Sydney Bacabella. Folks, I honestly believe that we are in for a mild winter. This is our biggest storm we had in a year. My town had between 9 and 12 inches, I believe. It was very tough to drive this morning, but thankfully we're safe and the roads are okay. And the Dunkin' Donuts stay open for us so the wolf can get some caffeine when he goes into work on the front lines. And I just did that today. Here's a new winter blend at Dunkin' Donuts. Only $2 any size. Can't beat that, folks. Can't beat that. Loading, loading, loading. So we have a lot of shorts coming up. We have plenty from various promotions we went through. Keep an eye out throughout the day on the VSW Podcast YouTube for some random shorts from our latest adventures, a lot from Limitless, Chaotic, and
Oh, we got all sorts of adventures. Sorry, I should only be one more time too out there. Now I gotta make the noodles. Well, heat the noodles. I'm using everything in the air fryer tonight. But normally I bring my headset out there, but people are sleeping. I don't want to wake anybody up. Not for that. What I was gonna say is maybe if you're not busy tomorrow, I'll cook you a good meal, and we can check out some of these independent shows that we've missed. Rest of all, some of the Beyond shows and other things. Even some of the NCW shows we didn't get to. Um,
conflicts of interest.
we can now watch those online. I know we got to do some wedding stuff with my wedding upcoming tomorrow. Maybe after that we'll check out some of that independent wrestling, do another live stream, or maybe even a watch party for some of this stuff. I got some new technology. We can see what we can do, but yeah, shooting the shit is just that. There's really no motive here. We're not here to talk about any one promotion, show, wrestler, wrestling, even. Like today, I spent half of the day rebuilding all my Kerbal Space Program files.
I've
As
heard about that. You're trying to challenge Elon Musk and Bezos, Versace.
oh, I can do it. I was doing really good, and then I don't know, something happened with my file. It got corrupted, but I had to restart. So I spent most of the day trying to redo all my missions and stuff, and soon I will be going way, way far into space. But
A
yes,
move.
now I'm just kind of chilling, playing some Grand Theft Auto, unwinding. I take some of the streams. You can find them all on Twitch at the VSW Podcast Twitch. I don't know if people know that actually exists, but it does. It's actually under
Yeah.
Versace Stoner 420. And, you can see all the space missions there, all the Grand Theft Auto games I play, almost all my gaming, and all the good ones I put up as well to the YouTube. There's hundreds of them here. I'm looking through them right now. It's all free. Um, some of them are hours long, some of them a couple hours long, doing different space missions and various things. So you can check all that out, like I said, on my Twitch, on the VSW Twitch, at Versace Stoner 420. And, we're going to be doing some more events there too. I found out we can actually stream to there as well, so we might start doing some of our podcasts live to Twitch rather than to YouTube and see
Oh,
how
that's
that goes.
and maybe we talk about our games in the gaming world on Twitch, and maybe we do some of the sports on YouTube and some of the wrestling we go back and forth.
Well, yeah, because even the sports too, there's a big esports on Twitch, and you gotta remember, Chaotic uses Twitch as their primary source of viewership. I mean, right now it says live, um, breaking point 2021 is live right now. Um, oh shit, Dirty Dango, and yeah, with the chair. Damn, giving the finger to the fans, giving the
Now,
finger to
it was
everyone.
also won as Chaotic's What the Fuck moment of the year.
It was, and there's the JT Dunn pin. Wow. Well,
He
like I said, I missed that. I am gonna go finish up. This is the last of the food, I promise.
Ooh. So here I am, alone again. Here I am, up on the sleigh. Good times and chaotic. I was there. I was an impressive heel turn of the year. It was also K. What the fuck moment of the year too. It is great. I am so excited for what this year's gonna bring in chaotic wrestling. We got a show in our hometown of ESW headquarters with new ownership from the unit brand led by the savior of pro wrestling, JT Dunn. You also got the Man of Steel, Mike Verna, AC Baby, AC Romero, Trigger the OG, Danny Miles, and Dirty Dongo all in one stable. They are the new bosses of Chaotic, which AT Dunn leading under control. A lot of people feel very mixed. It's very controversial about this, whether it's good or bad. What is Chaotic wrestling gonna look like? I'm still trying to been figuring that out ever since before Christmas at Final Fight, which was the chaotic event of the year. I am so excited for what this brand's gonna happen. They started off, we were just trying to go to each promotion maybe once, and I fell in love with Chaotic once they got out of the tape scene. They keep getting better and better and better. It's unbelievable. There's a huge card coming. We're not going to get too much into it because we will have our preview for Pandemonium next week here on the VSW podcast. Versace's better cook up a meal to please the savior, JT Dunn. As folks, I can no longer. They do not want you to support Love Doug in any way possible, the unit, and he is currently not booked for our show.
Still not quite ready.
Ooh.
Almost though, almost. But
Oh,
But yeah, that's the great thing about chaotic wrestling. I want to just go back, so I know I probably just cut you off to whatever you were saying. Is that it is as available as easy as Twitch, and you can get a free subscription by just having Amazon Prime. You can go right in there, use it every month, your free Twitch sub, and use it for chaotic. You can go back, watch all their past events and so forth, so on. For Control the Chaotic, JT Dunn, and that they're showing the all out main event. It's getting big. But yeah, it is that easy. You don't need IWTV. You don't need any fancy app.
And the
You just
fact that these events are free, kind of a steal, if you ask
it
me.
is if you watch it live, and if you want to go back and watch it and rewatch it, you do need the subscription. But that's fine. Like I said, it's free. It's literally like the old WWE Network when you used to be able to keep using a free trial every month. It's that easy, and you know um like I said, it works almost anywhere flawlessly. Right now, I'm using it through my Xbox. You can use it through your phone, Fire Stick. Twitch is everywhere, and it's very, very reliable. It's very, very fast. It's similar to YouTube, and you don't have that IWTV issue with the live events. I like Twitch for
Like I
wrestling.
told you, in my room, I can't watch live IWTV stuff, but downstairs in my 4K one, I can watch it okay.
And you know that Impact uses Twitch as well for a lot of their wrestling. And
Speaking of Impact, did you hear the breaking news, Versace?
I haven't heard much news today as I've been, like I said, shooting rockets off into space. What's going on in the world?
You are not going to believe this. The Forbidden Door has gone to WWE.
Who?
You will have, but they did something pretty stupid too. They revealed the most entrants in the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Who's it
One
gonna
of
be?
them was Impact Knockout champion Mickey James.
So they fired what's her name to bring in Mickey James.
Yeah,
They fired a whole bunch of people just to bring in Mickey James.
yep, and Impact people, Impact's promoting it, and WWE actually promoting other companies saying Impact champion Mickey James.
So she's not actually part of WWE. She's just Impact champion, showing up
Yep.
wrestling for WWE.
As long as they're not loyal to Black and Gold NXT, I think Vince is okay with that.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny because like AEW kinda is in partnership with Impact as well.
Yeah,
But hey, who knows? Maybe like somebody said, it's true. Vince owns the wrestling world. Maybe he owns AEW too, and it's all a gag.
maybe it is all work to fuck
Sometimes
with
I
the.
wonder, how does Tony Khan even have this? Yes, I get he's a football, but I mean, why did they pick Tony Khan out of everybody, or did Tony Khan go scouting? But how did the elite and them meet up? I never watched those early Being the Elite episodes, so I'm not
Well,
really sure.
the elite. Well, Tony Khan was interested in attending All In. He wasn't in charge of All In.
No, it was just the wrestlers.
And then they talked backstage, supposedly.
Well, yeah. Okay, now I think the noodles are finally done disabled. Finally.
Finally, Versace's meal is done. With The Rock is cooking. Brr, 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 brr. The Rock says, brr, 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 brr. Mhm. Got a lot of humming today. The most humming we've ever done on the VSW podcast. The wolf likes to hum some songs because it is hard for me to know the lyrics to songs. Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ooh, yeah, chaotic. Yeah. Bang. I wonder if those noodles are cooking. But that is shocking to me, though, that Impact and WWE are not really merging. Who would have ever thought WWE would do partnerships with any wrestling company? Vince wanted to put it all away his whole life. He still tries to bury WCW 20 years later. And, and he's proud to do that. They released a whole two promotions worth of talent, all 2021. Poor guys. You also have the Royal Rumble coming up. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is WWE champion, and Roman Reigns is Universal because Roman Reigns tested positive for COVID, allowing Brock.
No, no way. Wait, what happened with Roman?
Last week, I was telling people, I was recapping the obvious that Roman tested positive in the original main event for their day one pay per view was going to be Brock versus Roman for the Universal title. But Brock went into the Raw WWE title match between Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Lashley and won the WWE title.
Well, yeah, I know that. I didn't know actually Roman had tested positive. That's kind of scary for Roman. I honestly haven't been following WWE news or Twitter really that much either. Really just focusing, honestly, hanging on YouTube. Been using those apps just to have it post for me, but um, that is kind of scary for Roman. I like a belt on Brock. I mean, without a belt on Brock, honestly, what's the point of having Lesnar there?
Oh, I know it.
Lesnar without a title, it's kind of he just needs a title at all times. I feel.
That's what I think. The WWE or Universal title is
I mean,
perfect.
how? Well, it is. I mean, how are you gonna
He is
have him
their
chase a title?
last larger than life athlete, you know?
And they made him that way. So I mean, how? Like it's kind of like Hogan. You know, he was either in the
I
titles. He was either in the title scene, or he was in no scene, because there was no other place for him, and that's the same thing with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, so honestly, if Lesnar never left to go try out for the NFL in his hometown Minnesota Vikings or the UFC, I think he would have easily breaking Ric Flair and John Cena's current world title record right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
His hand fed in plus aggression era at that WWE title.
for sure, for sure. And I mean, it's not even done yet. I mean, like I said, he's still got time. Lesnar, I mean, while he's no spring chicken, he's still in great health and shape. So,
I think the fans are getting really, really tired of seeing Roman versus Lesnar main event every big four pay. At least it's felt that way the past like 5 to 10 years, you know?
well, it did, and I mean, you might be stuck in that rut again. And honestly, I don't know what WWE's thinking. I don't know what direction they're going in. I don't get it. They
I
seem
don't
to just
think they even know.
they seem to destroy anything that was good about it. They're
Because
getting
they
rid
can't
of talent.
have
They're
old
get
talent. Well, Undertaker's all done. Cena's.
they've getting rid of talent. They've gotten rid of backstage people that have been key to their success for the last 10 years, at least of what they've been able to do for successfully. You
Yeah.
know, and there's gonna be issues. There's gonna be problems with, you know, bringing in all these new people. They're gonna have to bring in. I mean, WWE is a monster unless they're downsizing, and that's the only thing I can think of. They're downsizing as a whole, and they don't need all these executives and people like Road Dogg and William Regal. They don't need them because they're not going to have all the personnel, and
Maybe.
that's the only thing I can think of. WWE is going to downsize, really focusing on what they have, and maybe they're not going to expand anymore. Who knows? I like I said, a lot of shocks have been made in WWE. I just don't know which direction they're going as a company. The wrestling has been it's been one of the weakest times in wrestling. To me, it's comparable to '95. It's just it's cringe for me. I can't a lot of the times. But I don't knock the people that do. It's always gonna be part of people's you know wrestling fandom. Royal Rumble's coming up. That's a lot of people's most favorite event of the year, even more than WrestleMania. So, that's when the shocks happen. That's when a lot of surprise happens. That's when we saw, Edge return, Christian return, and so forth, so on in the last few years. So,
They put a lot of one-offs too. That's what you look forward to. You don't want things to be leaked by the dirt sheets. You want the number
no,
30.
and that's the thing, as a kid, I used to remember, getting the Royal Rumble VHSs, from the movie store. And on some of the Royal Rumbles, in the beginning, the early ones, they would announce all the wrestlers, kind of like I announced all the cruising for a bruising people, and
Yeah.
they would do that. I would always skip through it or fast forward it on the on the button because I didn't want to see who was in the Rumble. I didn't even want to know. I wanted to be totally shocked on every person that came out. And I like that aspect of the Royal Rumble. I hate the fact that WWE is so easily leakable. I mean,
Uh,
AEW, they have their issues, but info just doesn't get leaked like WWE.
you don't know the main event of Revolution. You would know the main event of if it was bad at like WWE's leaking was. You would know the main event of All Out next year.
I mean, that's the thing, and it's between the fan leakage and leakage to the fans, and just the overall predictability of the product. I mean, it's not very exciting. There's not a lot of excitement there. Bringing in some names might help, or could just be a quick fix. I mean, you know,
Oh, I know it.
they're trying to get another fan base. They're trying to gain back people they lost
Who's
over
that?
the years to other promotions such as Impact, New Japan. When Ring of Honor was running. You know, and
I
these are
think
the.
go back to recruiting athletes to become wrestlers rather than already trained wrestlers now.
Well, that's what it was back in the day. I mean, most of the wrestlers were football players, and they would just come in unless you were a family name. If you were Von Erica Hart, second generation wrestler, then you got right in there, and you got your thing. Otherwise, you were even Randy Savage was a baseball player, and before he was a wrestler.
Oh yeah,
You can actually buy his card on eBay, and it's actually cheap, like a couple of bucks. Hey,
hard
speaking
to.
of cards, Disabwolf, did they ever send us our AEW cards that you ordered?
Oh, I've not gotten them yet. They're way behind.
I know. I heard some people got their boxes today or yesterday.
I can't even get our few CM Punk cards.
I'm hoping we can maybe if we do go to any stores tomorrow, we can find some in stores. Might be a quick grab. I mean, there is autograph cards and other memorabilia stuff, and Series One will probably be worth something some a day, if not
We might
sooner than later, if there's not enough made.
buy full boxes probably.
But WWE, you got the Royal Rumble coming up. It's just another main event pay per view that I can't get super excited for. If this was back in the years past, it'd be huge.
Oh, I know it. I used to always get excited for the Royal Rumble.
You know, um, but then again, I would used to have to wait from Survivor Series on. There would be no events from the day before Thanksgiving to the Royal Rumble.
Oh wow.
Back when I started watching wrestling, there was only four major pay per views a year: WrestleMania. Actually, before when I really started watching wrestling, I don't even think a lot of the pay per views were running. It was like WrestleMania came out, and then like Survivor Series, I believe. I don't know. SummerSlam didn't start until '88.
Yeah.
The first Royal Rumble Hacksaw one, I think only had like 20 people in it. Didn't really
Yeah.
count for anything. A lot of them didn't count for anything until later on, until the title was vacated
Hmm.
during the title got vacated, and it was actually Ric Flair, or the winner that would win the Royal Rumble would get the title. And that was
Yeah.
actually Ric Flair that year that won that. And then the Royal Rumble started to kind of mean some people would get a title shot
Yeah.
at WrestleMania, and that was a big deal, as you remember during the Attitude Era in Austin, and all the odds were stacked against this guy. Could he pull it off? Could he win? If he wins, is he going to WrestleMania? Who's going to WrestleMania? And I just feel like it's just not there now. You got all these other events, all these other opportunities. If you don't get in that way, maybe you win Money in the Bank, maybe you win the Elimination Chamber. You got many options to get in on the big event now, where before it
So
was like it meant the world. So a lot's changed over the years.
yeah, it used to be the Royal Rumble. Someone would be evaluated to the main event status from the mile card.
Oh yeah, and you would see a lot of that in there, and you would see a lot of wrestlers. Some would just come in and come out. You would see storylines unfold. You would see friendships come up. You would see partnerships break. Every man for himself. Who could you trust? Tag team partners would come out one and two like Demolition and have to fight each other.
Very true. You you would also have guys fighting in title matches, losing, then they go to the Royal Rumble the same
That too.
night.
And the Royal Rumble back in the day was just that. First of all, wrestling was a lot simpler. Every pay per view was about 3 hours running, except I remember WrestleMania 4 being a little bit longer because it was a huge tournament to decide the world champion. As the $1 Million Man had bought the title off of Andre the Giant, and Jack Tunney vacated the title and called for a tournament. Macho Man would go on to win that, but
Yeah.
you know, wrestling had a formula for these, Royal Rumbles. You would have a tag team title match. You would have an intercontinental title match. You might have another, opening match, or you might have another, um, I don't know,
Yeah.
some kind of storyline driven match. Then you would have, your title match. Then the Royal Rumble. Now I feel like you have a bunch of matches in there, bunch of title matches in there. Then you got the Royal Rumble. Then you got the Women's Rumble. Then you got, it's just a lot. It's a lot. I'm not saying women shouldn't get their own Rumble. Most definitely should. I mean, if they're gonna make WrestleMania a 2-day event, let's make the Royal Rumble a 2-day event. Let's
It
put the
might.
women,
Oh,
let's let the women have their one night for a 3 hour show, and then the men do theirs for another 3 hours, with all the titles and everything being, you can put the women's tag teams on there. You can put the women's world titles on there. Then you do the Rumble. And then with the men, you do the same thing, and it could work. It could work, and
maybe
it
do
would be
one
better.
night just woman, the other night just men.
Exactly. I mean, I hate to split it up that way, but WWE doesn't really do intergender anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I would love to see WWE do intergender someday, but I think it's
I
because the TV stuff. Same
it's
reason why
because
you don't see AEW do it too.
between the PG AEW did a little bit of it back in the day, and then they
Yeah.
kind of stopped. WWE, it's a lot of that. Parents don't want to see it. Obviously, a lot of them don't understand it. They automatically think, men wrestling women, it's a sexual thing. It's not. And when it's done right, it's a great art. And but you also have, all those investors and public. It's a publicly traded company. None of those people want to see it. So, and it also cuts out a big liability if there is a scandal. You do have a Joey Ryan type incident or something happen. So, I mean, I get it, and who knows what will happen in WWE? They might change their mind. They change their mind so fast. 1 minute they're scooping everybody up. It seems like they wanted everybody from the indie scene, and then they wanted nobody now. So,
You can't
it's
make up
constantly
their
changing.
minds.
Constantly changing. Like I said, the wrestling used to be big, and then, WrestleMania was the big one. You'd have all the matches. Then, Survivor Series used to be strictly that Survivor Series. 4-on-4 teams.
Wow.
I remember one year you had a big, like, 8-on-8, I don't know, tag team elimination match, and then you had all the 4-on-4 teams. And the teams made sense, and they would have gimmicks, they would work together. They'd be storyline driven again. And this is what Survivor Series was. Then I don't know, it was like 92, I believe, or something. 91, maybe, I don't know. They changed the format of Survivor Series, started adding singles matches, and then the year I went in 93, it actually went back to that format of the 4-on-4, and then they kind of changed it up again, and then added some teams, some singles matches, and different things, But normally in Survivor Series back in the day, the titles weren't even defended. Champions would just be part of a team.
I also like the idea of Survivor Series, meaning something's on the line, like which person has control over the brand, like they did Bischoff versus Stone Cold in the Survivor Series 5-on-5 with Eric Bischoff's team wins. They did the Authority, etc. They did a lot of DX stuff, the corporation,
You know,
all.
and that's the thing. If WWE is going to have these split brands, then fully utilize that. And I feel like they don't. The
And they
last
just
Survivor Series I
announced
think they did
people
was
is
when you
like,
had Stephanie and Kurt
Kane.
Angle running things.
Yeah,
You haven't had GMs in a long time.
I. They, it's funny, people. It ran its course, but we need that back in WWE.
Raw vs. SmackDown was something kind of cool. I think we all took it a little bit for granted,
I
but it
think
made it made
that
things it made things different. The Survivor Series when you had NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown. That's the real goal. An invasion of NXT. NXT now is just another WWE show. It's another snooze fest, in
they
my
made
opinion.
Bischoff go at it too.
I mean, yeah, you got some great athletes, great talent they picked up. Like Carmelo Hayes, that Parker Boudreaux kid.
Breaker.
You
There's
have
Rick.
Josh Briggs on there, but they lost a lot of the essence of what NXT is, the grittiness, the grind. It was the closest thing of WWE grabbing a hold of indie fans for the last time. Like I'm saying, that last stretch of people. I stopped watching WWE, but I'll watch NXT. And now that's kind of gone, and those people are like, I don't
The
even
only
watch that.
bad thing about AEW coming to life is NXT got destroyed slowly but surely because they were just abusing it to try and get back at AEW. And once they didn't get their way, they started to destroy it little by little.
Oh, they did, and they dismantled it, and I mean, and they blamed people, and they blamed situations, and they moved up talent for no reason. People like so many people should have stayed. Honestly, Aleister Black should have stayed in NXT for a lot longer.
I
Shayna
think
Baszler could have stayed a lot longer. Okay, you might as well just had Asuka stay longer. um, you know, War Raiders should have just stayed there. You know, Obviously, you had people like Gargano and Ciampa. They should just always be there. That's just their home. That's their home promotion. They're not WWE. They're NXT.
yeah.
You know, and I mean, you had all these people that could have just stayed where they were, like, Karrion Cross and all these guys and girls. And instead, we moved them up. They moved them up. They moved Keith Lee up. What did they do to move him up? And then just let him go, He was killing it. Killing it in NXT. He was
Oh,
way over.
Both the
He was
North
over hugely
Side.
when we were at Evolve. Him, who else was over there? There was three of them. Him, Champa, and
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole was not at Evolve when we were there. It
Oh,
was
Evolve. Rhea Ripley.
yeah, Ray Ripley. They were all signing autographs. Okay, people were lined up for miles to see Keith Lee. Dude get his schmeal in the ring. Everybody was over. Everybody was into it. They move him up. They change his song. They change everything. All of a sudden, he can't do his job. He got sick, whatever. Okay. Well, take care of your people. For the most part in the NFL, let me ask you something.
Yeah,
Somebody gets injured in the beginning of the season. They're
yeah.
contracted. You don't just get rid of them, okay? They have to
Huh.
unfortunately sit the season out, but when they're better, they come back. At WWE, they wait a little bit and then they just get rid of you.
Oh, wow. That's not
So
good. The NFL doesn't. None of the sports leagues do stuff like
imagine
that.
if they did. Imagine if they treated that like that.
Oh,
All of
I
a
know.
sudden, Tom Brady's been let go today, just
The
out of
world
the
won't
blue. No
explode.
reason. No reason at all. You know. um, eh,
Supposedly, they tried to make Antonio Brown's new excuse before he partied in the sideline that Bruce Arians forced him to play through the injury. Then his coach told him he was no longer on the team. He didn't quit. He was forced out. Who the hell knows?
they all lie, kid. They
Yeah, I
all
think
lie.
Antonio Brown has a lot of mental health issues because people tend to forget when he was on the Pittsburgh Steelers and they played the Cincinnati Bengals. They used to have a guy who was a great linebacker, but he was an asshole in real life. For Tonte Burdifict of the Cincinnati Bengals, he nailed his head. He nearly paralyzed him, and he had a real bad concussion. They say he wasn't the same since.
Jesus. That's dangerous. Football's a dangerous sport. Like wrestling, one thing wrong and
Yeah,
you are injured. And some of those injuries are life threatening, altering. You can get
yeah,
paralyzed. You can, unfortunately get seriously hurt. And
that
that brings
is
me up to something the other day. I saw somebody talking about it, and people run the conception that wrestlers have health insurance, and in some instances, it's not the case. They just have protection of what happens to them in the ring. But if they get like sick outside the ring, they still gotta go and go to the hospital and pay and hope they have insurance or whatever the hell they use.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up, and I can see why some wrestlers would be screaming for a union, more rules. Maybe all wrestlers deserve health insurance. I mean, I think if you're big enough to be running an industry or running a show that you can sell, here's my how I take it. If you can successfully run a show every month with the same guys roughly, minus your special talent you bring in, and you can flip profit doing this, then you
Interesting.
should be able to pay your guys health insurance. I mean, you're running a business, and at that point, it's a successful business. If you're like I said, running a monthly show, you probably got you got your ticket sales stream, you got your merch stream, you got whatever your streaming stream is gonna be, for money, and all sorts of other ways, sponsors. At that point, you can afford, I think, health insurance. I get at the indie scene, it's different. You're an independent worker. It's like me when I worked for Instacart or not Amazon. They were actually employees, but Instacart, DoorDash, any of those, companies. You're a
Oh,
1099 self-employed. You don't get nothing, and that's basically, and that's how they treat the wrestlers. And it's not, really fair when you have to force these guys to be on the road, and now you're putting them through the risk of COVID.
oh, I know it. With the new variants and everything else.
Exactly, you got a lot of things going on, and like I said, even champions, big stars like Roman Reigns is getting sick, and you know, it makes you wonder: is this wrestling right now really that important? Should we go back to scaling back a little bit on the fans? Do we, I'm not saying cut the fan base out completely, but maybe we go to 50% occupancy. Let's not cram everybody in. Um, It'll be interesting to see when we're in Watertown how packed Watertown is. We saw how it was, before, and the pandemic was pretty mild then. Um, as far as people getting sick, I mean, the vaccine was there, the variant was not. So,
Yeah, that is
but
so
now,
true. I
like I
agree.
said, now a lot more has happened. A lot, people are getting sick, talents getting sick. It'll be interesting to see how many people
People need
show
to
up.
prepare matches that you're looking forward to seeing that may not happen beyond their control.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything can happen, in wrestling. We like to always hope for the best.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Definitely
know,
do. But if guys can't make it last minute, always support that promotion you're going to see no matter what.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure. And you gotta expect there might be some people pulling out.
Hmm.
Because people are getting sick. There are cases rising, and then you got the weather issue. Not to say I don't know what but like this weekend, the weather today was atrocious. If people had to do interstate traveling, it's not easy, and that's the problem with winter.
Not
But
not easy at all.
no, and I think that's why some promotions take it off, like NCW, and I think it's really smart of them too. I know it's a shorter season and you get less in the year, but you know,
Oh yeah,
but you don't have to worry about the weather. By March, things are pretty okay. Yeah, you might get a little bit of snow, a little bit of this, but for the most part, things are looking good. Um,
absolutely. I'm excited what like I told the viewers earlier. I am very excited to see what 2022 has in store for us.
Now, usually PG and like NCW kind of schedule their returns together. I feel they at least did,
That's
during the pandemic coming back. But this year, no. PG is coming right back with their Rumble. It's gonna be at that what is it, Black Box in
yeah,
Peabody.
Ebony, yeah,
65 for the VIP seats. You get the trading card. You get the poster signed. You get the Delilah Hayden glow in the black light figure. You get the best view in the house. That's from that top seat where you can look down, see everything.
yeah. Oh, I know. I'm very excited to see what's in store.
I don't know who's gonna win that. I'm hoping to see some surprise faces in there as well.
Oh yeah.
I know the Big City Rumble was a lot of fun. That's always a blast. That was for me, one of the shows of the year for indie wrestling was that Big City Rumble.
Oh yeah. That was a very great way to kick off for NCW. They got people that had to get turned away.
And they got fans that have never even been to the show before coming to that show, and they're still there now. We still see them there, and it's great. We still see those three dudes. We saw them at AEW. We saw them at a few NCW shows. The last one we went to, and that's great. That's how you build fan base. How you build friends. I hope people do. That listen to us that don't know about NCW. We've got all these promotions that we talk about, chaotic, limitless, beyond. That they do go and Google them, check out our feeds. Check out our
Yeah,
shorts of them, and check out the independent promotions. If you go to our channels page, I have a few of them highlighted out there. I have to update it, but you definitely check that out.
yeah, definitely.
Um,
We got a lot of fun stuff planned for 2022, Versace.
we do, we really do. It's gonna be a really good year. You have a lot of I think we're gonna be surprised with all the wrestling. I think a lot of people are gonna flourish. We saw a lot of people flourish last year, and I think even more people are. Like, I'm really excited for this Ricky Smokes Mortar match.
I'm really, really excited for that match. Plus, I'm excited to see the main event come face the unit for the titles.
That's another big, big matchup. And plus, it's in our hometown, which is nice. It is nice. On a night like tonight or a day like today with the snow in our hometown, we could make it to wrestling. Unfortunately, I believe it is going up against what, top rope?
Yeah, top rope and
So it'll
Brocky.
be so it'll be interesting to see what fan bases are like. As some people do both of those, like chaotic and NCW. So it'll be interesting to see who chooses what and where and when, how, why. But I know I will be at Chaotic Wrestling. I know you'll be at Chaotic Wrestling. I know our
Uh,
other friends will be at
I
Chaotic
don't think
Wrestling.
you could. I don't think there's anything that wouldn't keep me from going in our hometown.
No way. We even got Mike the Doorman to come, Mike Panchu to come,
Some other people
BSW coming
I
four
know.
deep, four deep to Chaotic Wrestling. It's almost like our own unit, in case AC Baby and JT want to get a little crazy with us.
They're
We
already
have our
not
own
too
unit.
proud that we have supported Love Dog all year last year.
Well, I mean, we had to do what we had to do, and I was thinking hard about the Love Dog situation. I think I'll continue to support Love Dog in Maine, but when it comes to chaotic, he just needs to do one thing and one thing only, and that's take the pledge.
Take the pledge, Liberty.
Take that pledge. Join these guys. Your career will take off. Stop being a pest and chaotic, and you'll be fine. In Limitless, he has a little bit of difference, but he needs to take the pledge, or his life's gonna get bad and Limitless too. AC Baby, JT Dunn, they're out there.
Maybe they're secretly trying to do what John Alba could never do and is take over Randy Carver and Limitless.
Oh, maybe. Speaking of John Alba, he wrote something. I don't know what the hell he was talking about.
He wrote something.
Yeah, on Twitter. I don't know. I saw something. I guess our good friend Sydney Bacabella brought out Channing Thomas last night.
Yeah, they did. Last night, Shannon Thomas looks like he has a new gimmick.
Yeah, he's with Sydney Bacabella over in Beyond Wrestling.
If Sydney and John ever fight, that's a VSW special
Well,
all over.
no, and I mean that's what happened here. I gotta see. Let me go through the freaking thing. See if I can pull it off. Here, we go find it. I said, is Chan Thomas Pro? That's Chan Thomas gonna drop John Alba for a real legend like Sydney Bacabella? And he just re-quoted my tweet and said, using the transitive properly, Chan Thomas Pro is now a Hardy boy, so that would be very stupid.
Oh
How
yeah, but
is
John Alba's interviewing the Hardys.
Yeah, but that's not Channing Thomas.
Yeah.
How's Channing Thomas a Hardy boy?
He's not. He's not from North Carolina. If anything, Shannon Moore was a lucky pro. He grew up with the Hardys.
So I don't know. I think maybe Channing Thomas will leave prestigious this year. Will join up with Sydney. Work that beyond magic that he did there, maybe in Limitless as well, and let Prestige work with Big and Mac Daniels.
You think John Alba will turn face eventually?
Uh, uh, I don't see how. I don't see who he would turn on.
He's so despised in Maine, it's hilarious.
I mean, I don't see what he could do to make the fans even trust him.
I don't know what he'd be able to do either. Yeah, cause uh, cause he's so scared of us, Versace.
He just doesn't like us.
Absolutely not.
But
Yeah,
he's beyond the small time. He's what with Conrad that now he does some with him. He's big into
and
the
I
WWE,
think.
AEW. He's doing all that.
Mhm.
He hasn't really got time for the small independent, wrestlers, enthusiasts like ourselves, or as the Jersey boys called us, the lab called us trash podcasters. He really just doesn't have time for us. I get it. A lot of people think we're trash podcasters. That's fine. I don't really care.
I don't care either, to be honest.
We
Me and
cover
you, we
the.
just have a fun time when we. I don't look at it as a podcast or a job. I just
We
look at it as having fun,
we cover the New England, you know, scene. We watch some professional wrestling. We go to some shows. We take videos. We post the videos. We highlight some matches. We like to put people over here at the AEW. I mean, I meant the BSW rather. Sorry, not AEW. We put people over.
We love to do that. We want them to take off, so.
We want them to take off, and we want to get eyes and ears on them, and that's what we do here. That's just what we do.
Absolutely.
And we'll continue to do that. That is our plan here. That is, like I said, what we do here at the VSW podcast. And like I said, this is kind of just a chilling night. It's cold Friday. Like I said, maybe tomorrow we'll do something wrestling oriented. Maybe we'll watch, like I said, some pay per views or something. Maybe watch a movie, or if not a trending movie, maybe cover that. I don't know. We'll figure something out if we got the time off. But
Yeah.
tonight it's cold. It was cold out. I said, why don't we just do something remote?
Yeah.
And,
See how you do on a snow day.
I hit up some of the other people that like Panchu and Mike, and they were unfortunately a little busy tonight. I was gonna have them hop in on this too, but that's okay. Next time, a lot of people I think get a little afraid of, well, not really afraid, but they have phobias, being on air, being listened to. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna talk about? What happens if you make a mistake? What do you do if you make a mistake? Uh, well, if you make a mistake, usually you just go with it. Like I fucked it up. I said we was with the AEW. No, I just really corrected it fast. Apologize VSW. It's not a big deal. Mistakes
Yeah,
happen all the
I do.
time.
I make mistakes. We're all human.
You made a very funny, notable mistake on our first ever WWR Women's Recap. It's kind of funny if you look back
It
at
is
it.
because I was trying to say like a carpool of town, and for some odd reason I said cesspool by accident.
Exactly, and it was hilarious. It was funny then. It's still kind of funny now. You said it not. you totally didn't think you didn't think it was what it was when you said it because you could tell you said it just so nonchalantly, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to go with it and roll with the flow. Can't stress
Exactly.
out being on air. Even with wrestling, like people botch, wrestlers botch. You got to just roll with it, roll with it, roll with it, roll with the punches.
Yeah, it is very true. And I didn't even know that John Alva would hate the question if he gets compared to Chris Van Vliet to Versace.
Ah, yes.
That's what led him to slowly start to despise us.
That, and I think when we just started pronouncing them wrong, and then when I, mentioned Chad Epic possibly being a better manager, well,
And I said the prestigious.
we added a the. There's a few things that just have gotten on John's nerves. And we'll see what happens when he returns to Limitless Main. If he'll be receptive towards us. Hopefully so.
I hope so. Should be our. We'll mark out for the guy, and he won't know what to do.
It's kind of funny. Last year, everybody kind of reached out to us. Hey, you want to sponsor this? You want to sponsor? You want to sponsor? You want now? Nobody's reached out to us. Either shows don't need sponsors, or people don't want to work with us anymore, or whatever the case may be. I mean, I thought we did a pretty good job in 21, helping support and keep the wrestling world afloat as best we could with the sponsorships of matches and shows. And in 2020, I did my best to support the independent talent by buying a lot of merch and a lot of other stuff that wrestlers couldn't wrestle. So I think we did a pretty good job. And we'll continue to support the indie scene in 22. Just we'll figure a way how like I said, it'll be more focused on different things. We're not gonna be so driven about letting KPW and other bullshit get in our way.
Or personal stuff too.
Exactly. Um, well, all that KPW led to personal shit. So it'll be a lot of weeding out a lot of stuff. But
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean to those guys or anything. Like, they're not bad people. It's just, this is like, we're just trying to do what's best for the industry. And that the problem is with those guys, I'm not saying names, a lot of them don't have a lot of time on, they got too much time on their hands, you know?
well, yeah, and it's not even that. I feel like a few might be a little out of touch with a couple things. And it's always good intention and goodwill,
Yeah.
but at the same point, it has it's just very complicated. But like I said, this year's gonna be a little different. We got more things to focus on.
A lot.
Oh, so at Impact Hard to Kill. Oh yeah, there you go. Mickey James versus Deonna Purrazzo. Texas Death Match.
Ooh.
This Saturday, 8 p.m.
Yeah, wow.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Very, very interesting to say. Well, very, very interesting.
Very interesting indeed.
You know. How you think the AEW pitch is looking? What do you think Revolution's gonna look like?
It is very hard to say, but I'm very excited. I think we're gonna get a CM Punk versus MJF match.
That should be good.
They're phenomenal in their promos against each other.
Well, I mean, let's face it, they're two of the best on the mic.
One of the things I'm really bummed about is I really wish we were in the indie scene a few years ago. Like, could have seen more of Strat. We could have seen MJF in Limitless.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could have saw a whole bunch of people that are now made it to AEW like really fast through the pandemic kind of deal. You know, one minute we were seeing these guys at Please Come Back, the next day, you know, they're on the TV and that's it.
It's like we see JT Dunn wrestle a lot, and he was defending CM Punk on Rampage when we were there at BU.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
they
you know, and
green.
all these people, I'm just telling you, sooner than later, the Marsha Slanoviches, the Beckers, the Davies, the Sea Stars, sooner than later, we're gonna see them on the grand stages of, AEW, Impact, maybe even WWE. Who knows? I mean, like I said, I can't say WWE. If this was a year or two ago, I'd say WWE, but who knows who they're gonna take? You know,
Exactly. Well, I'm very surprised Price got a tryout. Good for him. I don't know how it went, but
maybe he didn't tell him he was already a professional wrestler.
oh yeah, he could have said he was a rapper from Dorchester or something.
Who knows? Maybe he didn't use his real name. Um,
Maybe.
but kudos to him though. I mean, he's very young. He's very talented. He's come very far. He's one of the
He's
guys that
getting better and better in that ring too. That
yeah.
match with JD Drink was an instant classic.
This kid is the top of the chain. You know, when it comes to pro wrestling,
And
he
he
in
has a
my
chance
he in
to
my
unify.
in my opinion has already dethroned the greatness that Daniel Garcia was.
Oh yeah, he could
Garcia was great.
unify all of New England. Like he could have the two biggest belts in all of New England if he wins in our hometown. That Pandemonium match, he could be the undisputed champion of New England with the Limitless World Title and the Chaotic Title.
That would be insane. And the other thing, like I'm saying, is you know, you had in 21, and you had a lot of wrestlers, and you had a lot of superstars, and you had a lot of people that were on top. And Alec Price, worked his way throughout all of that. He worked his way around Blackwood. He got his match with Garcia, but it was with AC. If AC wasn't in that, I think he would have beaten Garcia 1-on-1. My opinion again.
I
AC
think
ruined
so
that
too.
match for him. But with that being said, after that, this kid still shined. He had JT Dunn issues. He
Oh, I
got
know.
past the JT Dunn issue, you know, and got himself to that world title match with Anthony Green. He got himself the title. He's already defended it once or twice, a couple times, successfully.
Oh yes.
And this was a punk kid a couple of years ago that everybody booed, and he was giving the finger to everybody, and everybody was like, go back to fucking Boston, get the hell out of here. And now they can't get enough of him.
Not at all.
So, um, and it's gonna be people like that that you might see really fast on another show, because they are gaining such heights really fast.
A big.
But it'll be interesting to see, what does happen. This kind of student casing that we have in New England right now is very good. You have these Brad Cashews and all these kind of guys that are just great. Um,
You got
Mordor,
who's going to become a household name in a few years.
you could, very much so. And Ricky Smokes and all these, Becca. they're all kind of part of this class on Minor Chaos, and they're all gonna be going places as they're all kind of together. They go to different promotions. They look out for each other. Chaotic students seem to do that. They have a bond. Even Love Doug. You know, they all look out for Love Doug. I feel
I do too. And the unit just hate Love Doug. They use him like a rag doll.
they do. Um, they do use him as a rag doll, but um, we're gonna see a lot of different things this year. I can't personally wait. And I'm hoping we do see more local shows. I mean, yes, it was great last year going to all the places that we did do, but it's also great sometimes just to be localized.
I do too. It's a dream come true to have not only an indie show in Watertown, but good quality. Whatever thought we'd be getting two shows in 3 months in our hometown?
No, I know, and like you
A
said,
lifestyle.
the key word being good quality.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of bad quality wrestling, and it's gonna be an interesting year, definitely gonna be an interesting year. Just as I can say, I mean, you got all these superstars, and as long as they don't collide with each other, these promotions, every promotion can flourish to beyond belief.
Oh, I know it. Yeah. Almost done eating Versace.
Yeah, it's kind of picking, honestly. Kind of picking. Back to space flight. Back I go. Like I said, chill Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe check a Netflix video after or something before I go to bed. But it's gonna be, like I said, a tremendous year. Not just for us and for the wrestling pros, the wrestlers, but I think also just for the opportunities that are gonna take place with other like contributors and collabs, things we can do with mashup, things we can do with Rodney Bays.
Oh, I know it.
You know, these are gonna be very exciting times as we venture into new territories. As you saw, we changed the logo. It's no longer the shit show. We're going with a little bit of an old school SummerSlam vibe now.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be the one hit, summer show, and that's what we're gonna try to get going here at Bay's Bash, and that will be kind of like our wrestling for the year, what we're gonna kind of promote with, and on our own front. And then the rest will be just covering our core promotions, venturing out into some new ones like RWA, and there's a few other ones I have on my list, and we're gonna have a lot of good shows this year. A lot of good shows. But I think that's just about all the time we have tonight, Disabwolf.
It's fine. I am fine. I would like to thank you all for listening. We've had a very good year. I am so excited what the world of wrestling and Beantown Sports has in store. And the Wolf is signing out.
Have a good night, Wolf. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody,
Absolutely.
for listening here. It's been a great pleasure. We're going to try to run these things, once a week, just kind of shooting over, talk about everything. Not really focused on just one thing only. And as more things flourish, there'll be more things to talk about. Bring on guests. Not necessarily even wrestling guests, just guests in general. People that want to talk. Other Twitter folks, Facebook folks, Instagram, YouTube is anybody really. But thank you everybody for listening. It's been a pleasure. Check out all our great streams. Like I said, there's always new shorts of the great independent wrestling that New England has to offer being put up on a daily basis to our YouTube. And there's some great fun gaming out there as well. You can check out my little Kerbal Space program and some Grand Theft Auto videos, Ghostbusters videos, and some other fun things that are going on. So check it all out, folks. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Versace Stoner out.